wrong title. Let me just update that real quick. I am not playing Amore. Oh, it's private anyway. Okay. Let's change this. The only reason I'm talking now is because people see it later. I should be playing 2 games today. Which is this game, 60 seconds, and then I should be playing the second one of this game, which is called 60 parseconds. Depends how much time it takes, though. So public restrictions, game titles, 60 seconds reactivate, and let's do with Inny as my playlist. Okay, I think it's public now, so I can go on to YouTube with my phone and isn't my singing so good? What do you mean it was... My YouTube is so weird. It's telling me that I streamed this 2 weeks ago. Okay, now it's working. Wait, sorry, I need to just check if I can hear myself. Okay, yeah, everything's working. Everything's good. I'm sorry for all of that. So this game is called 60 Seconds. The premise is that you have 60 seconds to gather resources and your family before an atomic bomb goes off. And you have to chuck them into this little shelter area. I played the tutorial in the demo. So we are not going to be playing the tutorial now. We will just be heading straight into it. I will be playing as Ted for the sole reason that if you play as Dolores, Ted takes up 3 slots in your hands, whereas Dolores only takes up 2. So I'm doing this solely for the actual game, and it doesn't matter apart from at the very beginning. I'm just going to keep it the same difficulty, but if you'd like to see the different difficulties, this one's, you can read all of that, this one's read all of that, and this one's read all of that. You can just pause it and then, you know. So let's begin. So I have 10 seconds to to have a look around at where everything is first. Must-haves are a radio, a flashlight, food, water, and a gas mask. But I need to find where the gas mask is. Where would you keep... Oh, there. No! Oh, okay, yes. That's fine. Water. Suitcase. Oh, the flashlight's in here. I wish I could drop things. But I need the radio as well. Oh, dang it, I grabbed my child. Who needs children? This isn't going well. Ah. Radio. I think I might just have to forget about... Oh, no. Okay. Grab her. Where's the radio? There's no radio. I'm dead. That went great. Oh, God. I'm so good. He's just by himself down. Oh. Yeah, I guessed that. Although Timmy was down there, he could have survived. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this differently. Let's go to the radio first. Radio. If I fail again, I might have to go to the easy mode because Okay. Gas mask is there. Radio's there. Flashlight's in the other room. Wife. Where is the flashlight? Child. Oh. Might just take up room. Okay, that's probably it. I mean, at least I made it there. And I got the flashlight. The food and water situation might not be great, though. Okay. Got, okay, 4 cans and 4 water. And a med kit. No, I didn't grab the med kit. That was already there. That's lucky. All of us made it into this outer just for the blast. That was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it work down here. We remember hearing canned soup is healthy for you. We can't remember bringing those supplies down to the shelter, but we're not complaining. We probably should have stocked it better anyway. Our shelves are full of cans. We'll eat from cans. We'll sleep in cans. We'll talk to cans. Some of us already do. There's just barely enough water for everyone. We'll have to ration it strictly. This is the best stock shelter we've ever seen. We've never seen another one, but we're sure this is a good amount of supplies. I really don't think so. So none of them are thirsty. They can survive without water for 3 days. So I'll give them water on the 4th day. And I will give them food when they get starving. We decided to have some fun today and play a game or two. The first one was picking the game we are going to play. This took us most of the day and we still haven't made up our minds. That is so real. When I'm trying to choose a game that I want to play for the video, I'm like, how many hours shall I spend choosing? Probably... Oh, I didn't get a gas mask. Oh, dang it. We played Truth or Dare. When it turned out we only kept asking questions. And the most common was, are we going to eat anything besides tomato soup? We decided that's enough games for now. There's nothing going on with Ted. Nothing new anyways. Mary Jane isn't worried, or at least she's not saying it out loud. Today was relatively calm for Dolores. Timmy seems okay as much as he can be in our current situation. So I'm going to have to sacrifice one of them to get sick and probably die. I'm saying Timmy. You know? None of them need food yet. Timmy can go to the Timmy can do it. Timmy can go to the wasteland. There we go. See? Timmy's fine. What's that sound? A galloping horse? We rushed to the door and were greeted by 2 men dressed like they'd come from a medieval affair. We identified the source of the sounds. One of them was holding 2 rocks and hitting them against each other constantly, while the other was skipping and pretending to be a rider. Okay. They said they're looking for some antique cup, but they got lost, and they would be most grateful if we could let them check our map, provided we have one. I feel like this is a reference to something, but yeah, sure, you can check our map. If you break it, though, I'll break you. Our map's fine. They seemed friendly enough, so we let them have a look at our map. They thanked us and offered us some supplies in exchange. We graciously accepted and wished them good luck on their quest. Oh, yes! Where is water when Ted needs it? Getting something to drink for Mary Jane sounds like the right idea. Dolores will not last long. All about their water, that's fine. I'm going to feed them, give them water tomorrow. And who will go? Timmy's going. Timmy can take... Timmy can take an axe. Timmy, you can do it. I'm so good to the children. Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know what we'll do if he doesn't come back. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs to get a drink right now. Mary Jane keeps fainting. We really need to find her something to drink fast. That's fine. Give them all some water. Oh no. We better come back. It's hard being down here, living here. We need to make the best of it, or else we might find ourselves in even more trouble. Day 5. That's almost a week. It's hard not to worry considering our current situation. Some days we're still struggling to deal with this shelter life, but we still can't lose hope. Ted is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Nobody needs anything today. A knock on the door is not something we take lightly these days. So when a man came to our doorstep today offering us a highly profitable game of cards, we weren't convinced. It's a bet of 2 soup cans in a card game. A reasonable choice in our situation. Well, we don't have any cards, so no thank you. I wonder how many days it takes for them normally to come back. Gambling is a terrible habit. What kind of example is that to set the kids? We need supplies, but we're not getting them like that. We'd sooner rob somebody. Yes, that's a surefire. Like, gambling is a chance. You might lose them. Whereas robbing people, you know, you can just... That's a surefire way. There's no police. We sent that man away. Good riddance. Ted's stomach is rumbling. Mary, they're all hungry. That's fine. If there's one sure way to get our attention, it's definitely banging at our shelter door. Whoever is it, they're quite persistent. They've been at it for the past 5 minutes. Sure, we have a gun. We opened the hatch, there was nobody there. Dan pranked us making joke even after the apocalypse. That's fine. Nobody's sick. Ted is hungry. All Ted wishes for is a few drops of water. Mary Jane is quite hungry. Everyone has to drink sometimes, including Mary Jane. Is there any water left? Doris would really love to eat something. Water is all Doris wants. Day 7. Last 2 more days? Or 1 more day, I guess. They had water on day... Yeah, okay, so tomorrow. Because day 4, day 8. Yeah. It's not the best time and place to make plans for the future, but we can't help thinking about what we can make of this terrible situation. Is our house still standing, or will we have to move to some forsaken hole like Toronto? No idea what that is, but I'm sure that's American. Timmy's still not back. We can make it work even in Toronto. Question is, how do we find a boat to get there? We heard that's the best way to get to Europe. Oh, it's in Europe. Oops. It's not in England though. Maybe I'm just really... Is it a country in itself? This is showing how bad I am at geography. I've got my geography GCSEs as well. Dolores would really love to eat something. Dolores will not survive without any water any longer. Ted looks like he's got 1 foot in the grave. He needs to drink. Okay. So, you will need to drink. That's not good. And... You're not starving yet. For an isolated fallout shelter, for sure, I have a lot of disturbances. Something has been making a lot of noise since dawn. We can see it seems to be coming from under the floor. And coincidentally, we just found a manhole that we can use to go and check it out. I don't want to. That sounds like a risk. We don't have enough stuff to make a risk. Going into a tight, dark tunnel is not a good idea, especially with those weird noises coming from it. They're giving us the creeps even up here. No longer thirsty. Ted's stomach is still rumbling. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane is quite hungry. Dolores is no longer thirsty. been a while. We don't know. Okay. So that's just telling us to put the radio on. We were able to get a weak signal and tap into the government's emergency announcement. And guess what? Great news. The fallout outside is mostly gone. It should be much safer to travel to the surface now. Let's give them all some food. We're running low on everything. Ring, ring. There we are, thinking we would never have to hear a telephone signal again when suddenly a phone starts. Sure, send Ted. Yeah, well, of course. When we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town of Hill Valley. We had started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their side. Hopefully they'll get back to us. We were so afraid for Timmy when he came back from the wasteland and safe with us now. First thing to fall in a time of crisis was order, yet here we are walking next to the police station and it turned out to still be operational. And staffed. We've met with a few policemen inside and they seem capable of doing their jobs, so it's pretty odd the way they were talking about a new world order. The policemen were quite nervous while we were around, and after a short chat they got us some food and they gave us some food and then told us to go away. Never mentioned what we they had plenty of water in their stash. They were acting very nervous and immediately consented to sharing when asked. Then they all started exercising. We returned from the expedition, but our axe didn't make it. This last expedition got us thinking maybe we could just drive away from this nightmare somehow. Of course, most automobiles available are completely burnt out, but if we find a solid base and scavenge through parts, perhaps we could build a vehicle of our own. We'd better keep an eye out for those in future expeditions. I don't want to give it to him. He's hungry. Okay. Let's send Dolores. It was a bit. One of the cupboards in was a bit shaky, so we pulled it out to give it no home. Go for it. Screw it. Better not break my flashlight though. Flashlight's fine, and he's not dead. So we inspected every corner of the room, found nothing. I'm pretty happy with that. Well, that was a waste of time. Ted is hungry. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave and he needs... Yeah, it's day 12. They get to drink today. He doesn't because he wasn't around, so he doesn't need it. Good day to go outside. Dolores, have fun. You can take... I'm sure you'll be fine if you just go out empty-handed. Have fun! Such a good person. Well, Timmy lost our axe, so it's his fault, really. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. Ted's stomach is grumbling. Ted isn't thirsty anymore. Mary Jane is quite hungry. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Timmy should eat something. Timmy is looking pale. That's not good. Timmy keeps falling asleep in his chair. Timmy's in terrible shape. We need to give him water now. You get water. You'll get... No, not water. You'll get food. I'm thinking that starving them isn't the best way unless we're really desperate, because they get weaker then. On our way back from the last expedition, we noticed some drawings of a half-ruined wall nearby. It was a very crude map of our town, and one place was marked with an X. Maybe it's somebody's secret stash of soup. Go on, Timmy! Timmy's back. He's not dead, so, you know. Lucky find, we were afraid the map was a trap leading us straight into a camp full of bandits, but it turned out to be true. At the end of the path, we found some supplies that might be helpful to us. Cards. Really? How are cards going to be helpful? Timmy is very hungry. If we don't do anything about Timmy's sickness, it might get worse. Timmy still hasn't rested. Timmy is no longer thirsty. But I gave him food. Sure. We can keep sitting on our backsides in this tiny old... we would have thought the Reds we could do it on our own, the escaping part, not the ruining part, of course. However, there might be someone out there. Sure. Don't break it. fine. It's not broken. The panic. We knew it. The government has not fallen. They are coming to save us. They didn't give us an exact date in their radio transmissions, but we're sure they won't keep us waiting long. They said they will be in touch in a couple of days and told us to await further instructions. If we don't do anything about Timmy's sickness, it might get worse. Oh well. Timmy keeps falling asleep in his chair. He needs a few days to rest. Timmy is no longer hungry. Ted should drink something soon. Getting something to drink for Mary Jane sounds like the right idea. They need to wait till day 16, I think. They claimed he couldn't sleep last night due to... Timmy claimed he couldn't... Ted angrily retaliated by making comments about the size Timmy is, which enraged him even more. He's desperate for a solution. What can be done about this? Hopefully, they mean playing checkers and not hitting each other. It's getting worse. Timmy eventually settled for a jamming checker pit. Okay, not what the doctor would order, but it did the trick. He slept well, although one of the pieces is missing in the morning. Is it still stuck in his ear? And more importantly, can we still play checkers without it? Timmy is looking very pale. That's not good. Timmy is rested. Timmy has been talking about nothing other than water. Ted looks like he's got one. Okay, everybody needs to drink. Our supplies are scarce and morale is low. You can almost smell the desperation in the shelter. We're pretty sure there's a small grocery survivors nearby. It shouldn't be hard to borrow some of the supplies. They're old. Like, I wouldn't do this in real life. But they're old. They're gonna die anyway. I've just got an achievement saying show your evil self, the dark side. We thought we were brave enough to carry out this dangerous mission, but the elderly had a bunch of war vets among them. We didn't even manage to get close to the camp. They started shooting in the air and screaming very rude insults at us. Can't believe we wanted to rob them. Let's just forget about this. Should have gone in with a gun. Timmy is still quite sickly. Timmy is no longer thirsty. Nobody's thirsty. Oh, this isn't getting good for food. We could use some extra supplies. The last time we went on a supply run, we noticed. Go for it, Timmy. Why not? It's a tank. Oh, he's alive. Okay. And she's back. The tank was equipped with protective gear, including a space gas mask. A spare gas mask, not a space one. Now it's ours. We were glad to see Dolores come back safely from the wasteland. Our expedition was able to get to a local hospital. It appears that the blast blew up some of the upper floors. Beds, some of the patients still on them, and the shreds of medical equipment. However, after exploring the first floor, we concluded that the majority of the canteen had a respectable supply of tomato soup. It looked like this was the only thing they fed their patients. Now we're 100% sure it's healthy. There were plenty of bottles of liquid in one of the wards. Peroxide or not, water is water, and beggars can't be choosers. One of the dead patients had an axe sticking out of his back. According to his chart, he was feeling perfectly fine before the atomic blast. We decided he probably no longer needs that axe. We window shopped nearby parking lots for a vehicle that wasn't completely burnt out. Unfortunately, we found nothing of value. Maybe future expeditions will be more lucky. So, we got some water, an axe, and some food. Dolores, well done. She's tired and hungry. No, she doesn't need food. And he doesn't need food. Is anybody thirsty? No. Okay. Go on, Ted. I think it's a rat, at least it looks like a rat around. Axe the rat. I actually like rats in real life. I mean, I prefer tamed ones. Whatever it was, it's dead now, quite dead. Maybe there's more hiding in some of those nasty little holes. Dolores has not eaten for a while. Dolores complains she still can't get a night's sleep around here. Dolores will not last long without water. If we don't do anything about Timmy's sickness, it might get worse. Timmy is no longer hungry. How about getting Timmy something to drink? He's not looking well. Ted is really thirsty. Everyone is to drink sometimes, including Mary Jane. You got nobody's dehydrated. She's hungry. You're going out. You don't need a gas because you're up there, but I'm going to tell you with one in case, so don't you dare ruin it. Welcome to the stream. It has been. It's been way too long. I've been on holiday for 2 weeks. Ted left for the surface. We hope he'll be back soon. Timmy is looking very pale. That's not good. Timmy is in terrible shape. We need to give him water now. Mary Jane keeps fainting. We really need to find her something to drink fast. Dolores is no longer hungry. They all need to drink. I think. Yeah. Okay. Yesterday, during charades, we learned that Mary Jane doesn't know how to spell anti-disabilitarism and has left Dolores sorely disappointed. She insists on home, or rather shelter, schooling Mary Jane a little. It's the apocalypse. You don't need to learn how to spell anti-disabilitarism. I can't even say it. I couldn't spell that. No. Leave her alone. Because I think she'll just get tired. Oh, she's a duck. Mary Jane has made a real scene, complaining that Dolores would never be happy even if both of her children became president, won Nobel Prizes, and simultaneously became the first people on the moon. Dolores begs to differ. She says she would be at least a little content in this scenario. Timmy needs an extra blanket. He's shivering all the time. Timmy is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane's diet could use some food. Mary Jane went nuts. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Dolores would really love to eat something. Who needs to eat? You're hungry. You're hungry. You're not hungry. Our store excuse for dinner was interrupted by a raspy voice coming outside saying, "Wanna buy a rock?" We calmed down when we realised the voice belonged to Old Man Jim, who used to live in our town. Well, at least we think he did. We just never quite figured out where he stayed. We should probably answer his question. It's impolite to keep people waiting like that. Yeah, sure. Let's buy a rock. What are we buying it with, though? We don't have much. I like rocks. She's a duck, so we could give... We opened the door and greeted the old man with a smile. He was eager to show us his bag filled with a rich choice of rocks and continued to take one for... and convinced us to take one for free. For old time's sake, we agreed, carefully chose the best looking rock, and the man left. We can't complain, it's good rock. Really, also, he claimed it brings luck. We'll see about that. Mary Jane isn't mentally stable. She seems to have lost the ability to reason normally. Mary Jane is no longer hungry. Timmy is very hungry. Dolores is no longer hungry. I'm not giving you food again. I just gave you food. If it's because you're dying, then just die. Is that harsh? That's a little harsh. But still, no. A sleazy looking trader carrying a uniquely scruffy bag on our shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal. We could get the bag and all of its contents. Then we'd only have half a can of soup left. What do you think, Axel? Give him the soup for the bag? Or keep the soup and tell him to get lost? I'm leaning towards yes. I don't know. We don't know. He offered us a simple one-time deal for just one can of soup. We get the bag and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside, and the trader gives us angry glances every time we take a step towards the mysterious bag. We have one and a half cans of soup left, and each time they need a quarter to eat. Okay, let's do it. I heard a cat meow. We have a cat now. As soon as the door closed behind the trader, the bag started to violently shake, emitting screeching, hellish sounds. Terrified, we backed up against the walls when the beast finally escaped. It turned out to be just an angry house cat. The feline gave us a menacing look and promptly sat down in the corner to clean itself. Its collar says Sharikov. Sharikov? Is that its name? Timmy should eat something quickly. Well, tough for Timmy. Oh, Mary Jane's not crazy anymore. They're all thirsty, but none of them are dehydrated. I'm kind of saying we just let Timmy die. Like, if it was Timmy or the cat, I'd choose the cat. When Dolores came back from that expedition the other day, she had a tiny scratch on her leg. It didn't seem serious at the time, but now it's quite a terrible sight. If we don't do anything about it, losing one leg will be a minor inconvenience compared to what might happen next. I kind of want to cut her leg off. Because the medkit's really important. So... I'm sure she won't mind losing a leg. I'd choose the cat any day. Every day, any day. Oh, we didn't cut it off. What happened? We don't have an axe anymore. If there was one thing we would never consider, it would be cutting off any part of Dolores with an axe. Not only would she object to this, she would probably take matters and the axe into her own hands. It was in our best interest to avoid such a situation. We did use the heated axe blade to clean her wounds, and the infection seems to be fading away. The operation wasn't pretty though, and we damaged our axe. I'd wanted to cut off the leg, but okay. Ted returned from his voyage to the surface. Before our expedition could get anywhere, we ran into a group of freaky people dressed like the wizards. They were eager to trade some of our supplies for a few items. It sounded like a fair deal, so we invited them. They had some food with them that we actually bought with real pre-apocalypse money. They thought the coins we gave them were magical. We didn't argue. 2 plus soup. That's good. We got some soup back. Timmy is very hungry. If we don't do anything about Terry's sickness, it might get worse. We need to give him water now. Ted is really tired. Dolores was hurt. Okay, so you need water. Do you need water? No, you need food. You need water. You need water. The wasteland is no match for Mary Jane. Sure, Mary Jane can do it. The army is on the radio again. They said they'll be scouting the neighbourhood and need to find clear signs of survivors that are still alive. We're asked to leave a few cards at the nearest stop to mark how many people occupied our shelter. We should get going if we want to make it before nightfall. Yes, we should put 5 down. 5 for the cat. We've got to keep our cards as well. The cards are in place, so we need to do is wait for the army to pinpoint our location. That shouldn't take too long, we hope. Ted is still tired. A few days of rest is what he needs. Or Ted wishes for a few drops of water. Ted is hungry. We should attend to Dolores' injuries. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Timmy is very hungry. Timmy is still quite sickly. He is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. You're thirsty but not dehydrated. Sure, have some food. Hurt. You're fine. I don't know if I should give him food. I'm a bad parent, but I never chose to have him. I chose to get the cat though. So, I'll look after the cat. While playing in the shelter, Sharakov stumbled upon a small... I'll call them Kov. Kov is now their name. Stumbled upon a small wooden box that was hidden behind some loose bricks that contained some useless memorabilia and a can of old bug spray. See? Kov is already doing so much more for this family than Timmy. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. Ted still hasn't recovered his energy. Ted is no longer hungry. Needs to get a drink right now. Okay, let's just... He's hungry. Might just let him stop there. Would I be a bad person if I let him start to there? It sure looked unique, but we never got close enough to get a good look. We're almost certain it's not a bandit trap. Sure, go Timmy. Timmy, I choose you! He's back, see? Timmy doesn't die. A shocking discovery. It was a dirty ice cream truck that was a little crispy around the edges, and it was also missing wheels and some other crucial parts. But the seats were fairly comfortable. Wouldn't it be amazing to just drive away and leave this radioactive hell behind? So now we've got... Whoever drew this was really good. So we've got the ice cream truck, but we need wheels. That's what I'm understanding. Sharkov is still a fresh addition to our little family, so we need to keep an eye on it. And believe it or not, just today we noticed something else on this collar. It seemed to be a metal plate with an address on it. And it's not far. Should we take a quick trip and see what's there? What do you think? It's our cat now. The cat! Oh no, the cat's there. It's fine. Timmy's dead though. The cat made a choice to stay here and we'll respect it. Truth be told, if the previous owner cared about the cat at all, they wouldn't have let it run away. Maybe they weren't very good people. Maybe they weren't very alive either. The nuke dropped either way, very careless. Dolores is still hurt and it might take a way out. Hunger drove Timmy insane. When he realised we won't be able to fry from him, he snuck out and never returned. I bet Timmy's having the time of his life out there. He's gonna come back, that's fine. We could have just eaten Timmy. That's a good point. Why didn't we just eat Timmy? You're dehydrated. That's one less mouth to feed. Hungry. We were discussing plans for our first meal that didn't, when we discovered they heard of ragged survivors. They were sorry, can't really spare anything. What do you think? Give them anything or not? We have 1.5 soup and 1 and a bit water bottles. So we'd only have half a soup or a bit of a water bottle. Or we could give them the medical kit, but I have been saving that and I didn't use it on Timmy. And I'm thinking about maybe using it on Dolores, but it depends if they come back ill because I prefer them to Dolores. What are you thinking? What are we thinking? Maybe water because we have the most of that. Okay. I had a knock on the door, that's not good. Our visitors had problems finding enough words to express their gratitude. Many tears were shed, smiles and hugs exchanged. They wished us all the best. It's a great feeling to help someone out. They left soon after to seek shelter in the ruins of town. We hope they make it out there. Ted is rested. Ted is no longer hungry. Ted should drink something soon. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Dolores has no colour left on her face. Okay. Should we fix Dolores? If we fix her, then we have no medical kit left. But if we don't, then she might die. And I didn't mind Timmy dying, because he's Timmy. And I'm a great person. But we might actually need Dolores. I don't know. This is my first time playing the game. Okay. There you go, Dolores. We care about you. You would expect the most apocalyptic time to be a place of peace and quiet, yet there is some at the door. When we open it, we encounter strange. We do not have any water. We're sorry. Come on, Mary Jane, come back to us. We were sorry to explain that we didn't know what a water ship was and that we didn't have one. He thanked us in a few short words and left. Come back. It has become more and more difficult to breathe in the shelter over the last few hours. We suspect there's something wrong with the ventilation. Maybe it got stuck somehow. Got stuck somehow, but how? We need to investigate it or we might suffocate. Bug spray! Yeah. Frick Timmy! Who cares about Timmy? We decided to spray the hell out of the vent just to be on the safe side. Turned out it was the right thing to do. A couple of mutated insects fell out, followed by a gust of fresh air. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to the shelter from the surface. It's quite a long walk from the house to the docks. We knew of a promising warehouse in the area. It survived the blast. The sea waves drowned half of it. We were hoping it wasn't the better half. Water everywhere, and finding empty bottles in the stores was the problem. The problem was the water filled with them was kind of salty. The half-drowned container in the back was labelled nothing important. It was full of ammo. A little trip to the surface might have spotted and followed. We should be more careful next time. So we've got more water. Now we're just struggling with soup. You don't need water yet. Might send Ted out. There's nothing more annoying than silence, and that's all we're getting from the radio. No music, no talking. Is there anything we can do to the radio to make it work again? We sure no staring at it won't help. Don't mess with it. I don't want to break it. We need it to hear the medical supplies. Yeah, kid. We're sure that they are experiencing technical issues. Yes, that's it. Everything will be fine. Okay. There you go. All of you can drink something. Eat something. Go for it. Ted left the surface. We hope he'll be back soon. When Mary Jane is tired, she becomes cranky. She should be better in a few days. Mary Jane is no longer tired and fatigued. Okay, sure. They don't need anything. That's the important. Today we've met a bunch of people deserted in what looks like Halloween doctor outfits. They claim to be a field hospital moving from place to place, attempting to help those hurt by the hazards of the wasteland. Their problem is some of the supplies got eaten by something that looked like Sasquatch. They're asking if we have any spare hydrogen peroxide. If we can spare water, let's do it. Okay, so I played the fake version, you know, like the knockoff version, because it was free. I was terrified. I think I might have the video. No, I don't have the video because the audio didn't work, and that meant we didn't record the audio. I'm meant to be wearing my glasses. I'm going to be murdered. The doctor said I have to wear glasses when playing video games. But it was like the fake, where's my neighbour? But, I mean, if, Mary Jane is still tired. The guests were grateful anyway, a bottle of relatively clean water. Fatigued, tired and fatigued, you're fine. The army isn't coming, not yet anyway. Today's radio news instead. They've been broadcasting a request for all citizens to assist them by cutting down trees in the nearby park. We don't know if some fancy general needs it for his fireplace or what, but they suggest it's either that or no evacuation. The choice is pretty obvious to us. We don't have an axe. You're gonna make me blush. Stop. Anyway, we're not lumberjacks and we're not chopping down the park, maybe another time. Mary Jane seems sleepy all the time. She has no energy for anything. Can we spare some water? Mary Jane has been asking about it all day. Mary Jane is quite hungry. If there's one thing we need, it's water for Dolores. Dolores has hungry. Holes in our bunker walls aren't big enough for rats. They can easily fit a cat. What? We noticed that Sharkov has been sneaking outside every other night and coming back in the morning. Maybe it's found something edible nearby and likes to go out for a midnight snack. If that's the case, we want in on this plan. I don't think we should. It's the cat's business. You know? And I don't want to scare the cat away. Our friendship with Sharakov is still fresh and fragile. Following it on its private excursions might break its trust. We want it to feel safe and come back in our shelter. Plus, it keeps coming back. Clearly, it can take care of itself. There's nothing to worry about. Mary Jane seems sleepy all the time. No longer thirsty, no longer hungry. Mysterious sounds are coming from our radio, but they're hidden behind a ton of static. We want to tinker with it a bit, find the right frequency. It could be something important, or it could be the opposite. What are we thinking? Yay or nay? That was not one of the options. I do not see an in-between with the rainbow colours. There should be, though. I don't want to break the radio, but if that's the military... no. No, let's go no. Tinkering with our precious radio sounds like a bad idea. Let's just hope this wasn't anything important. Mary Jane seems sleepy all the time. She has no energy for anything. Today was rather calm. Okay. We had planned to go to Nigeria Falls and see those beautiful waterfalls. We never expected to get our waterfall of our very own in our shelter. Right now it seems that half a dozen pipes burst and all the water is pouring right into our bunker. We need to save our supplies. Save the radio. Even if the other two get damaged, then... The radio was rescued first before any of that filthy liquid got into its case. It wasn't long before most of the water disappeared, but the damage it had done was enough to set us. Cleaning and fixing the mess will take us days. And what's that smell? Mary Jane is rested. Water is what Jeremy... Can't you just lick it off the floor? Water is what Dolores can't remain this thirsty for long. They're not dehydrated yet. A scientist at least supposedly arrived on the doorstep yelling, "Dr. Sharakov, you in there?" He was looking for his lost cat but kept referring to his pet as his favourite assistant. His research apparently can't go on without the cooperation of Dr. Sharakov. Since the cat doesn't seem keen on moving out of the bunker anytime soon, the doc wants us to compensate him by helping us with his project. In these circumstances, it might not be the worst idea to befriend other wastelanders, even if they're really crazy. Mary Jane keeps fainting. They're both dehydrated, that's fine. Wouldn't you know, it's our dear Mary Jane keeps a diary. For some reason she was hiding it in the scouts book we keep in our shelter. We have no doubts what needs to be done right now. Each of us must be assigned a role and the diary must be read aloud, right? No. That's her privacy. Leave her alone. We were alive for 40 days. Mary Jane thanked us for respecting her privacy. She then ripped out and tore all of the pages, set them on fire, stomped on them and fed them to the mutated rat outside. A bit excessive, but we all feel better now that it's been dealt with. We still wonder what she wrote about us, though. Ted's been outside for far too long and still has not returned. So Ted isn't coming back. And we're running really low on food. We need to do an expedition. Offers 2 water in exchange for that. Offers... We're okay for water. No. We refused to trade. Hopefully we made the right choice, but the trader wasn't happy about this. You can go barehanded. You'll be fine. Come on, Mary Jane. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she makes it back safe and sound. Mary Jane isn't looking very good. She hasn't eaten in a while. Water is what Mary Jane needs most right now. There you go, some water. I fed you yesterday, though. Why are you so hungry? That sounds so bad. Sometimes a sudden urge to play an instrument takes over us, to create beautiful sounds to be shared with the world, to sing and play and have a cute, beautiful animal come to listen to us. Like post-locking something like, shall we? Sure. Do whatever you want. You've got a harmonica for a reason. Oh. We've got mutant cockroaches now. Be careful what you wish for. After a few minutes of playing, a small group of mutated cockroaches jumped out of the cracks in our walls and started moving to the rhythm of the song. They ran around in circles and shook their antennae. It would be adorable if they weren't so disgusting. What are we supposed to do with them now? Keep them as pets. Mary Jane isn't looking very good. She hasn't eaten in a while. Is she thirsty? No. Spiders seem to be operating under the assumption that they all have the same way. They're scared of us. There you go. Don't hurt the bugs though. We love the bugs. Only hurt the arachnids. We always knew books were precious. They're the perfect weapon for waging total war on insectoids of any kind. Fear will keep the local spiders in line. Fear of this scout handbook. While chasing them around the shelter, we found a misplaced water bottle. That was a good hunt. Mary Jane isn't looking very good. She hasn't eaten in a while. I can't feed you. We can't chop down trees. We don't have an axe. We're not lumberjacks and we're not chopping down the park. I'll give you water. The cat disappeared for a short while and came back with a note on its collar. It's signed by the scientist. He says he's being followed by a couple of weird men in hats and sunglasses, making him temporarily go into hiding. His note mentions the construction of some sort of transportation contract. A few details were provided, but apparently it can get us out of this hellhole. Still needs to be stocked with supplies, which is where we come in. He wants us to stockpile several cans of soup. The doc will come pick them up soon. We don't have any. Water? Yes. Food? No. Mary Jane isn't looking very good. I can't do anything. The funky roaches haven't really left us. To be fair, they aren't causing that much trouble. They even seem relatively friendly and curious. Just this morning when we opened our eyes, we saw them standing in a perfect line right in front of us as if they're waiting for something. Yes. Dance, cockroaches, dance! I've got Disco Ranch as a reward thing. If you can't beat them, join them. We figured the roaches are craving more of our music, so we fulfilled their unspoken request. They started joyfully prancing around again, creating fun shapes on the floor. Then all of a sudden they left in line. We thought the show was over, but they soon came back in a group, carrying supplies on their strong mutated backs. Insane. Looks like we made some new friends. Disgusting mutated radioactive friends. They're so judgmental. We were glad to see Dolores come back safely from the wasteland. Going to the supermarket is not as easy as it used to be. Now, not that raiders have taken over the place and running plunder operations in the area. It's more difficult than ever. We since the members on guard duty were limited, it's impossible to sneak around and retrieve some of their loot is worth a shot. The way was cleared. The staff room said we found nothing but a water cooler. Free water for employees. Wow, that must have been a dream job. 6 water, but no food. We believe that our expedition to the wasteland might have been that we should be more cautious next time. We can only feed them when they're starving now. But if you're thirsty, we have loads of water. When someone knocked at the door, we were suspicious and cautious. After a few minutes of talking, it turned out that it was just a group of old ladies who were at a tea party not far from here when the bond shops. Thought it would be good manners to talk to them face to face. When we opened the door, the old bats attacked us with their umbrellas, canes, and something that looked like a spiked table leg. We need to fight back. Okay, shooting or locking? What do you think? Locking the door, but we risk breaking the lock, or shooting them and we risk breaking the gun? I want to kill them, but I don't want to break the gun. What do you think? What do we think? Let's go for the gun. Hopefully it doesn't break. It broke. Wow. The gunfight was intense, but our position gave us the advantage we needed to drive those thugs away. One of them even lost an axe while retreating. We'll make sure to use this for all the right reasons, specifically not robbing us. Oh damn, we spoke too soon. We think the gun is broken. What do we do now? Okay, we've got an axe though. If there's one thing we need, it's water for Dolores. That's fine, we can do that. You're hungry and need water. Is barehanded such a bad thing? Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. The doc came knocking on our door to collect the supplies that he requested. They're important. We can trust him after we don't have anything. Day 50! That's half of 100. The guy is a bit too nutty, even by our standards. We'll hold on to our supplies for now. We can always change our mind later. Dolores would really have to eat something. Dolores is still tired and can't sleep. I fed her yesterday. I can't feed her. What we would give. I'm hoping the army contacts us at some point. She's thirsty. Our ammunition is missing. There's no way it was stolen. It has to be here somewhere. We need to find it. Sure. Definitely did that. No shark above. Stole it. That's back. The first thing we found was a forgotten deck of cards. Dolores used it for solitaire back in the day. The kids lost a few of the cards. We can now play semi-solitaire. Found it. The ammunition clip was covered by a can. Too bad it was empty, but at least we have our bullets back. Dolores would really love to eat something. A gang of thugs started banging the door, ordering us to surrender and give up all of our supplies. How do we respond to these scumbags? With a harmonica! Defend yourself without a weapon. Hey! They lowered down their weapons and cried a few tears, surprised by the beauty of our music. They will let us live today. The promotion coming from outside could only mean one thing: bandits. Mary Jane probably walked right into them. We need to face the possibility that she's not coming back. I can't. Laura. Just send her and hope for the best. We don't have any. We physically don't have anything to give you. It's so hard to give them up. They're worth their weight in gold. Also, you can cancel whatever the currency is these days. Take an axe. If you die, then it's over anyway. One-way ticket, die in your fallout shelter. I don't think that's a good sign. Dolores is on her way back to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. It was supposed to be an easy supply run, and unfortunately that's not what happened. Dolores never returned. The lock shelter will forever hold the secret, at least until somebody with a hacksaw and lots of patience comes along. We didn't make it. These are our final words, and our advice to anyone who reads this is obscured writing. We spent 62 days in our shelter. We didn't make it. Then eat something. Okay. So as I said, we will now be playing the other game, which is, I think, similar to this one, but it's set on a spaceship. So let me just get that set up now. It's called 60 parseconds. I changed the name of the game. Got that open. There's too much music happening right now. Okay, so that's how that works. I keep on getting called, leave me alone. I'm just so popular. It's not working. Why is it not working? No, stop it. Stop it. I'm going to leave their group chat in a second. Okay, well here comes search engine. You 100% are. How to what? No, it's why is OBS. Run OBS as an administrator. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, the stream's gonna stop for a brief second and I will be right back. Hopefully with the game. If not, we'll just play 60 seconds again. Oh no, it's still working. Okay. Okay, we'll be back in